Hi there, good morning. We're the Highwayman. I'm Jason.
Well, hello, everybody, and my name is Steve. Again, it's just wonderful to see you on this. It ain't a bad day, Jay, frankly, is it? It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Not too bad. The clocks are going back tonight. Don't forget it. So it's going to be...
Yes. Only in the UK.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot... only in the UK, is it? Yeah. It's going to be a lot darker tomorrow night. But a little...
Yes, it certainly will. A stupid idea that was born from wild idea. Apparently, it was so that the farmers could get out and do a bit of...
Correct.
Bit of ploughing and bits and pieces, but there we are. But that leads us rather nicely, Jay, doesn't it? Darker nights lead to a bit more skullduggery, people out there in the dark doing things a little bit under the radar sort of thing. What are we going to be talking about today?
So we're talking about the man in the Gimp suit that's just been arrested for gimping around in Gloucestershire. I think it's Gloucestershire, is it?
Somerset.
Somerset. So I actually remember reading a story a few months ago about this man in a Gimp suit. It's funny, isn't it? Until Pulp Fiction came out, we didn't even know what a Gimp suit was, did we? And this man walking around in a Gimp suit, just kind of terrorising women, I think was the terminology used. And can anybody come forward with any information? And I kind of find it laughable that this is even newsworthy in a way, that a man in a full-length leather suit. I mean, it's basically like a sexy what burqa. It's like a sexy burqa, isn't it? Really,
I guess it is.
Gimp suit. It's they're in the same category almost. Everything unseen or not unseen. So anyway, they finally arrested this person. Who's been writhing around. I think he's been guilty of writhing around. I don't think he's done anything other than writhe around in the Gimp suit, has he?
Well, now here's the thing. So they have indeed arrested a bloke, all right, who was wearing not quite the Gimp suit, but because he was in the same area, they have deemed that it's the same geezer, but he denies it venomously.
Right.
So the bloke that they've arrested was wearing a black outfit from top to bottom, with a mask, exactly as you describe it, with a mask with just the eye holes and the mouth and the bits and pieces like that. And what he did on a couple of occasions was he just basically stood in a road with his legs a bit open and his arms behind his back in the dark, and cars have come round the corner. Oh, and he had day glow or something on the mask, I think it was. As they've come around, he's not moved or anything like that, so they have brakes, and he's just stood there like this, looking at them. So, of course, they've panicked like bloody mad and either reversed or gone round him or whatever they've done. So he did that on a couple of occasions. And on one of these occasions, the lady that was driving rang the police. They came and found this bloke, and it turns out he's a gardener. So he's a fairly well-known, sort of cheeky chappy around the area. And anyway, when they caught him, they looked in the back of his van because, God, he's got that. They found all this kit, his regalia, if you like.
Yeah.
So they arrested him, and he went in, and he got done for it. So, but this is the bit that does make me smile. Anyway, he venomously denies being the Gimp geezer. Venomously,
even though he's got all the kit in his van.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they obviously found it different to this. So he went through all this trial and all the other bits and pieces, and he did get found guilty. And what do you think the outcome of being found guilty was, Jay? Years in prison, locked away, sent to Alcatraz. What do you think happened to him?
3 months in a sex rehabilitation centre. What is it?
£100 fine.
Oh, after all that, £100 fine. How can you be fined for wearing a Gimp suit, really, if you're not actually doing anything? There's no lewd...
He was terrorising. He was terrorising.
There's no lewd conduct involved. He was just literally hanging around in his Gimp suit.
But you don't do that, do you? But
well, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. But I like a bit of tight, restrictive clothing on the weekend.
Well, the good news for you and me is all we've got to do is keep a spare £100 back, and we can do it to our heart's content.
Do it to your heart's content. That's it. Yeah.
We're well away.
Yeah.
He had to pay £200 compensation each to his victims, because I think it was a few that came forward then over the.
I'm a victim. If there's 200 quid involved, can I just say that I was driving through the area at the time? Can I get a bit of money as well?
Well, I was with you. I remember it.
Mate, we need 200 quid each at least.
We do. The fact that we were both in our Gimp costumes is irrelevant
as well. Yeah, we thought it was a Gimp convention.
But what he said in his defence was his mental state had deteriorated to such a point he felt that he actually wanted to kill himself. Right. So the reason he was stood in the middle of the road was because he wanted to die. However, he couldn't quite explain why he found himself stood there in a Gimp costume.
Well, you wouldn't see him. You know, I mean, obviously the idea that you're head to toe in black, then you wouldn't see him. And yeah.
So there we are. So the Somerset Gimp. The Somerset Gimp.
Somerset Gimp has been caught, has been fined, and his gimpery outfit has been confiscated. I bet there's some senior police chief. He's been out in his bedroom last night with his wife, getting all gimpy with her, with a strap on.
Well, to me, it leaves it wide open. I reckon it leaves it wide open to sequel 2, if I'm honest, because he's denied it venomously. You know, if somebody else picked up the mantra, picked up the suit, and went out there and started doing it again, do you know what I mean? It could be like, oh my God, is it a whole new one, or is it?
You know what? The funniest thing is, if you ring the police at midnight and say there's someone breaking into my house, they'll give you a crime number. Whereas if you say you're driving down the street and you've been offended by someone wearing a Gimp suit, there's suddenly like a nationwide manhunt for the Gimp. You know, can you imagine if there'd been house-to-house searches for people with Gimp suits, the amount of people that have actually turned up with the amount of people who have been accused, and maybe they'd have to do like a lineup where everyone would have had to line up wearing their Gimp suits just to see if they could be identified. Which Gimp was it, madam? Can you imagine?
Brilliant. Yeah, a lineup of Gimps. I'm sure he was 2 inches smaller than that one.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm not talking about his shoe height.
Oh, no, absolutely. So do you reckon there'd be a little crotch bit cut out, or would that be all as
well, I think normal? Then that would have been indecent exposure. That would have been a whole different ball game. But no,
like you did there.
But yeah, so no, I think the idea of a Gimp suit is you're fully enclosed. So you know.
Oh right.
Yeah, there's a few young girls, you know, downtown on a Friday night with a, you know, head to tail kind of Gimp suit. Really, they can get away with it, can't they?
You see, that's sexism, isn't it?
If you've got boobs, you can get away with it. You know what I mean? But if you're a man, I tell you, the world's stacked against us as men. But yeah,
massively,
you can't get away with it.
Absolutely, massively.
If he'd left the hood off, would he have been okay then? You know, would it have been not so offensive?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does. It goes back to the whole burqa thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, do you get offended by someone walking around in a burqa?
Well, do you know what? I got to say something. So let me just make sure I've got this right, Jake, because I might not. So is a burqa is what the ladies wear, so you can only see a little.
I think the hijab is the headpiece itself, and I think the burqa is the whole outfit, I believe. I'm not
right,
sure.
Okay,
mate. I think there's a couple of names for it, but I think the hijab is the kind of facey bit.
Right. Okay. Well, I got to say, you know, it's incredible how alluring. Maybe that's the wrong word, but we spent some time in Morocco, and when you can only see their eyes, oh my God, how they can. I don't know, be sensual with their eyes. Flirt. That's the word I'm looking for. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible because there's kind of nothing else to look at. You look at their eyes. Do you see what I mean? And then it's like you realise that they're like absolutely playing games with their eyes with you. And it's like, wow. Wow.
Do you think we need an episode on burqa fetish? Because I think you've got a lot to say. I've got to be honest. I can't say I've ever been flirty-eyed with someone in a burqa. I think.
But have you ever been?
Usually they look about 20 stone underneath, and I'm kind of not really that interested in what's going on with the eyes.
That might just be padding. And anyway, that's irrelevant because that's the bit that you're looking at there. I think we should do one on that. I really do.
Yeah.
But have you ever been in an environment where that is literally it's the norm? So that is what everybody is wearing. And so you tend to concentrate a little bit more rather than looking at the tits and the legs and
The only time I've
whatever
been in that environment is that underground sex club when you knock on the door and the bloke pulls back the little slider and he's up at the door and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, let me in, okay.
I remember that one.
Yeah. That's the only scenario where I've had to look in somebody's eyes. No, I can't say that that's something that I've ever really done. But maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I need to go down to the local sort of Muslim area and start getting a bit of eye contact with some burqa ladies.
I think you do.
Hopefully ladies, because you really don't know, do you?
We're right back to plushy and furries, aren't we? There, just on a slightly different.
You understand why these Muslim men can't control themselves. Maybe even with the burqas, maybe they should start adding sunglasses to them as well. So there's sort of no contact. Otherwise, be I don't know.
Okay, I know you, but I'm serious. It's incredible the flirtation that they are able to utilize just with their eyes.
Well,
it's
there you go.
And because it's only their eyes, it's actually a very sensuous thing, quite honestly. So we'll do that.
If you're watching this and you've experienced the eye flirt, then please let us know, because we want to know, because I'm interested. I'm missing out on this part of this culture, this flirty eye culture that Steve's got. So if you've experienced it, we want to know. We hope you like the video. We hope you've enjoyed
it. Please.
You can give us a like, you can give us a subscribe, and what's the most important, Steve? What's most important?
Oh, mate, well, before I get right down to the old bell end there, Jay, I do want to say thank you to our phenomenal 3,000 plus subscribers. How lovely!
Amazing. I know.
It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Amazing.
So anyway, without further ado, here comes the magic finger to get straight on that.
Please, magic finger. Look at that.
Oh,
there is magic in that. There is magic in that finger. I feel like I've just been fingered by Steve, as everybody who's actually managed to get to the end of this video. But thanks very much for watching. Lovely to see you all, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys. Take care. Bye.